Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is Dr. Aman Sharma. I am an international medical graduate, a medical registrar currently in the UK. But in this video, I'll be telling you about my journey, how I did my MBBS from Ukraine. In a similar way, for you guys to understand is whether doing MBBS abroad rather than your home countries is doable. What are the challenges? So join me in this video and watch it till the end. So, if you don't know me, I am an international medical graduate hailing from India. As you guys also have done your medical school some way or the other, I did try to get into medical school back home in India. I would say in 2005. Yes, because my state had been newly created, so there were a few logistical issues, along with the rank wasn't that great. So I was left in a gist where I should be doing medicine or not doing it at all, and my parents could not afford the private medical college's fee. So we came up with the solution where I went to Ukraine to pursue my MBBS. So I went to Ukraine in 2005. I finished my MBBS in 2011. The MBBS in Ukraine or the Russian Federation countries, even most of the Eastern European countries, is called MD diploma. So people do get confused with the degree and the diploma stuff, but more or less it's still the same. You're still a doctor regardless. 2011 end, I think July I came back to India. In September I wrote my licensing exam, got through the licensing exam, and then I had another year of internship or the house job or foundation job that you call here in the UK, and I just got through, and then I continued my career and I came to UK in 2020. In this video, I want to tell you guys what no one basically has ever described, whether going to these countries is safe, is it doable, and what are the things you should be, I would say, beware of before you jump into this ocean. So let's go about the good and the interesting part of going to other nations other than your home countries to go and do the MBBS. Like for instance, in UK as well, there is a very high tuition fee. So I've met many of my colleagues who are UK residents, who are British nationals, but they've gone to Eastern Europe, Romania, Poland, and they've just gone and done their MBBS. Similarly, like I'm from India, many of the Indian pass outs that I've met have also done their MBBS from, as I said, either the Russian, USSR, post-USSR countries, Philippines, West Indies, Nepal, many places basically to go and do it, right? So what are the good things? So in a nutshell, if you say, is it that what basically attracts people to go into these countries? So first and foremost, yes, these are financially more viable options. Reason being the course fee, the cost of living, the transportation, the overall expenses that you expect to study in these countries is relatively lower what you would have expected to do in the private medical colleges in India, or even doing the medical school here in the UK. So the rough estimate of the fee can vary from places to places, but still in a nutshell, I would say it does not go beyond 2.5 lakh Indian rupees or 2,500 pounds. So more or less still quite affordable, isn't it? The cost of living, if we talk about it, the cost of living in these countries are not that great, not that high, not that. So basically, even with the accommodation, the fooding, the daily hustles and stuff, you still would be able to live a decent life. Like for instance, the monthly expense won't be going beyond 200 pounds or 20,000 Indian rupees. Like I still remember my days, my family used to send me about 5,000 Indian rupees one month, 10,000 Indian rupees alternate month. So still it was a fairly good bit. What are the other beautiful things? Yes, the women are beautiful, but we're not going to talk about it. But listen, guys, the countries are nice. You get to see the weather, their culture, the architecture. You have a good time, 6 years or 5 years, wherever you go, making friends, enjoying your youth life, going to medical school, learning medicine, and it comes with the part and parcel, right? But what the main drawback, I would say, is basically because you are left in an uncontrolled environment. Few people do absorb it very nicely, but few people, just get deranged from their paths, and unfortunately it doesn't look good on them, or they just don't uh, get to the destination for which they've gone to these countries. The other good things, as I would say, it's not as highly stressed like Indian medical school are, but we all know, it's quite high paced, high intensity, high drama. So, I mean, these medical schools are relatively not that high pressure. So, you would go there, you get to do something that's module system basically. So, you need to go and attend your classes, do your daily teachings, do your exams, and things keep on sailing. And you have few bit big exams there, but you usually they're not that hard that you can't do it. Mainstay of doing medicine basically is that you have to go to medical school every day. If you skip, you bunk, you don't go, big number of absentees, things don't look good, and yes, it doesn't reflect good on your part, and your progression is somehow hampered or even stopped in some extreme cases. What are the other good things? I would say they still have got a lot of culture. So, I mean, respecting women. Yeah, I would still say it's a lot safer for women than for men. Yes, I would say men are not in the most decent place when you go into, Eastern Europe or the Russian Federation. And other than this, things are great. Yeah, I mean, I still say I had the best 6 years of my life when I was in Ukraine. But if we talk about what's the wrong thing, or what's the negative factor here, so first and foremost, as I said, the weather can be extreme. When I was in Ukraine, I still remember my first year. I saw the snow and this stuff, and the temperatures went up to -35. This that it's difficult, guys. It's very very difficult. Second thing is food. I mean, these countries have their own sort of food cuisine, which we might not like, and finding the food of your own home countries is really, really difficult, which poses a very big challenge. So you have to eventually learn how to cook, and just to survive. Basically, that's the main deal of it. Because if you're down in terms of your health problems, the only support system you have is your friends. I, for instance, was hospitalized 2 times when I was in Ukraine. The first time I had renal stones, so I was there for 4 5 days. The next time I traveled from India, and I ended up getting a Hep A. And I think I was in the hospital for almost 3 weeks. If it were not for my friends, I would have, I don't know, I would have done things there. So, yes, you do feel a bit, not a bit, significantly isolated if you don't have a good support system in terms of your friends, because of course you won't be having families there whatsoever. Another drawback basically is the corrupt system. So, I mean, despite us going to the university every single day, there were many corrupt practices going on. So, you have to buy gifts for the teachers or the departments and stuff. And, without many of the departments, you won't be able to pass the exams if you have not contributed to the gift fund. So that's very corrupt. I mean, few of my colleagues did hassle a lot, but eventually they had to just do. And we also had to, unfortunately, many a times have to pay the gifts, as they call it. Okay, it's help, gift, whatever you want to say, but the system is there, and I don't think it has changed over the years. It's still there. So if you go there, don't expect it's going to change. I think that's a part of post Soviet culture that they still have kept in their bags, and that's existent pretty much. This is a topic I don't want to talk much about, but I think you need to know this. How racist are these countries? Absolutely goddamn racist. Sorry, that you didn't want to expect or you didn't want to hear, but I'll tell you few of the stories. Few of my colleagues were absolutely butchered in because they were brown, black. Many went to the pubs, were looted, were hitted. Few landed up in hospitals, broken bones, broken faces, whatnot, guys. If it was of no surprise if you go on to a place and if you were called a chorny blet on your face, that if you go on translate, it basically translates as black fucker. So that's very racist. it is, but that's how these countries are. So I mean, not to generalize anyone, like Ukraine at the moment, you can see that they're becoming very pro-Western. They want to speak English because yes, they've got difficulties now. But if the times then I went in, they were absolutely difficult. I mean, I would say out of 10 people, six were very difficult. There were four people. Those who were really nice to us were predominantly the university staff, and the elderly people were still very nice, which in the UK also stands very true. The elderly people are really, really very nice here. What are the other bad things I would say of all this? Because it's not your country. So no matter how much you want to involve, get indulged in, you still would be treated as an outsider. So I mean, if you talk about me having Russian friends, I won't say more than one or two. I still have contacts with them, but they're still my university teachers. I don't have a single contact with any of the locals after I left the medical school. So sad, but that's true. If I talk about the ugly, should you go there? Should you not go there? Well, it's an independent decision, guys. It's really difficult for me to say yes or no. But if I would say, if you get your chances to be in your own home country and pursue your, medical school there, that is the best thing to do, no matter what the financial implications, the cost, the pressure, the system, whatever it may be. Because I'll tell you guys. So me, when we graduated, we were a very big chunk of international graduates from all over the countries. Yes, we have some WhatsApp groups now here, but if you talk about the alumni, that's non-existent. So we don't meet, we don't greet each other that regularly. There is no obvious big functions, like whereas I've seen that with my counterparts who basically graduated from India. They used to have a very good strong alumni system. So they would go meet, and they have a good robust networking, I would say, which in our case, if you are a foreign medical graduate going away from your home country to some other country, when you come back, that does not exist pretty much. So I mean, and the quality of education as well, people have great concerns about it. I would say yes, it varies how you think, but their system is relatively more liberal. All they expect you is to come to classes, do your exams, bits and bobs, and yes, you'll clear it. But if you go on the higher journey, yes, it's way more competitive. And if you haven't done the job right, your foundation right, things become difficult when you go ahead and apply for post graduation, or even sit for your licensing exams. Coming to that, the uglier part, yes, the licensing exam itself. So whichever country you hail from, you would usually go back to your country and write a licensing exam so you can practice medicine there. If, like, for India, you write the foreign medical graduate exam. I think in more or less every country has their own versions. Southeast Asian countries have, African countries have. Even if in the UK you come back and your degree is not from somewhere which falls into the European Economic Zone in the past, before Brexit, they were exempt. But if you're not doing it from any other country which is not falling into that specific criteria or that specific college, you still had to come back and give plab and stuff. So, I mean, yes, despite all of this, you would be treated as an outsider. You can't practice medicine in your own home countries if you have not sorted your licensing exams. So, that is utterly frustrating. Many of my colleagues, unfortunately, could not clear in one go. They had to give multiple attempts. I, with my personal experience, know many of them. It's not like they were not good doctors. It's not like they were not good students. It was just the exam, which was so difficult. So, I mean, things didn't go the way they wanted to. So, I mean, yeah, pretty much this, but to conclude with, guys, if you're thinking to go to a foreign country, abroad somewhere, to do your medical school because of your family consequences or circumstances, if money is a thing, and you can't do much about it. So you can't do much, guys. Just go there, enjoy your time, make sure you read, make sure you study. The end goal should be very, very clear to you, that you need to go back to your own countries and face the licensing exams. If you don't, you're just another person with just another degree who can't work. So that's not a great place to be, guys. So yeah, if you got any further doubts or queries, you can leave me a text or a comment below, and visit my website, have discussions with me if you want about your career progression or something, if you are not very sure what you should do, what you shouldn't. And yeah, keep liking, sharing and subscribing the channel, guys. So I'll see you in the next video soon. Till then, live on, UK dreamers. Cheers. Bye.